Hello, it's Jang here from jangbricks.com, and this is it. This is as far as this camera will zoom out from its normal position, so we'll have to take a big step back because we're looking at the 2014 Bloks Halo Signature Series set. It is the Covenant SCARAB. Comes with 3,340 pieces officially. It is almost a whopping 15 inches tall. It's almost 20 inches long. I was able to keep good track of the time that it took me to sort the parts and build this set because I did it all in one session with practically no breaks. It took me over 13 hours. I wasn't rushing, certainly can be done more quickly than that, but at a casual pace, that gives you just a little bit of an idea of how monumental of a task this is. Now, there have been some amazing custom SCARABs built by the community over the years, but only the Bloks official version stands on its own feet. Literally, there is nothing under here to hold this thing up. It is completely being held up just by its own legs. The legs are the first things that you build on this set, and they are symmetrical left to right, so it makes it really easy because you can build two at the same time. They make great use of existing parts, including the side shrouds from the old Covenant AA turret, and up at the top you'll find three large ball joints which are stacked one on top of another to provide a lot of strength. Because of the way the joints are stacked, the legs will only move forward and backward, though they do have quite a range of motion. You're just not able to get any up and down motion, and there are no elbow style joints either. The head of the beast uses more existing pieces, including a recolored version of the canopy from the Covenant Vampire. The little mandible style bits can be moved around a little bit to slightly change the expression, if you will, on the face of this beast. Though it's not at all a perfect replica of the in-game SCARAB, I feel like it still has its own appropriate character. The turret up top is posable, but it only spins on one axis. I do think it looks pretty good in its shape though, especially when viewed from above. It's very smooth. While we're up here, we might as well check out the top deck, which has plenty of space for posing figures. You can very quickly see how this is not at all a minifigure scaled thing, but it still does play well, I'd say, with the figures. You can still put a lot of them on there. You can also put figures inside. All of this can kind of hinge up to give you access inside. And the walls have a few spots to store extra weapons, and there's a console on the back. There's a ramp to the lower level too. Incidentally, this entire front deck here is also movable, or actually removable. All this just comes up as one assembly. That gets you into the pilot's area, or do you call that the driving compartment or the bridge? Two seats there at the back of it, one large console at the front. There's a look at the console piece just by itself, a large printed tile. Here's a rear view of the main deck showing the exposed reactor core that you can attack to make this thing blow up on its own, and there's just enough room for a few figures to be posed around there, although the game realistic pathways to actually walk around there are not included. They have the lower deck down here as well, and that's just pretty much hollow and empty. It's a good space to store some figures. You can also just barely pose some standing figures back there, but again, scale limited what all you could do with this. Remember the side panels that you could blast open in game to get access to this thing? Well, those are here too, and they do open, but once you open them, it's just storage for a weapon or two. Evidently, they needed to make that structural to keep the whole thing together. It's just enough space to pose a little jackal in there, though, if you want to use that as a sniping platform. For figures, we'll start with this holographic version of the Prophet of Truth. And yes, it is once again the Prophet of Truth, not a different prophet. It's pretty much the same as the regular version that we got released recently. It's just rendered all in two different shades of transparent blue. The chair is a very dark and rich blue, whereas the figure itself is a little more of a medium blue, almost like a cyan. One bad thing about this clear material is that it's a bit harder than the norm, and you end up with less friction in the lower leg joints, so this isn't able to stand up as well or as easily as the normal version. Then there are two elites, a commando and an ascetic, both in the dark, slightly greenish blue color. Got great weapons with those, followed by two jackals in sniper variant. So they have a new mold for the head with the little sniping extra optics package attached to the face there. Take a look at these from the back. So I also want to get up a little bit closer so you can see those new molds. I love the fact that we get another fuel rod cannon. It's one of my favorite weapons that Bloks has made for these things. And there's that closer look at those jackals. You see they pretty much took the original mold, might have cleaned it up a little bit. Looks pretty crisp around the cheekbones, and then just added that extra part on top, which is actually painted in 2 different colors. So that covers what you get with this set. Obviously the SCARAB itself is absolutely massive, but there were still quite a number of design compromises that had to be made to keep it within an attainable price. Even though it is still very expensive, it's still fairly cheap for the number of parts that you get and for just how massive the thing is. It's obviously made to be sturdy first and foremost. They could have taken the easy route and just put transparent bricks underneath it to hold it up so that the legs could have come out more realistic with more jointing available. Instead, they made it so this thing could hold itself up by its legs even when they're splayed fully horizontal, which makes it more than 2 feet wide, 24 inches. Could I ask for more realism and posability? Sure. Could I ask for more for this price, using existing non-specialized pieces that could be used to make other things? No, definitely not. I am very satisfied, very impressed with the whole thing. I've shared my thoughts with you. Please share your thoughts about this set with me and the rest of the viewing community down in the comments section. Stick around for more videos from me because more are always on the way. Thank you for watching. I'll be talking to you again soon.